Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. This time not on Langre and not on Samoa. We are in fact going to have a 1 versus 1 on Angoville. For those wanting 2 versus 2s, I've yet to find a good one. Again, that's always sort of the problem, finding a good one which doesn't devolve into sniper spam. And for those asking for Panzer Elite and Commonwealth, well, today you're getting both. We are seeing WHI Kornek fighting for the Panzer Elite, fighting for the 12th SS, facing off against commentator Noggano of the 10th British Infantry Division. So hurrah, Commonwealth and Panzer Elite clashing off against each other. We are seeing a 2 Kettenkrat start from Kornek, while from Noggano we are seeing a lieutenant out. And then the truck is already moved. He's clearly going to set up right here on the munitions, since of course that's where the infantry reconnaissance section pretty much headed off right away. So that also usually indicates that his plans are within the sort of British infantry force. He's not going to rush straight away for armor. He's going to go for at least 3 infantry sections and then going to heavily upgrade them. Kettenkrat moving about, perhaps hoping to sort of stop any sort of securing of the munitions point. Yes, indeed, rushing in, but it might not be enough. Since of course there's a reconnaissance moving up to do some nasty things. Panzergrenadiers out. 2nd Panzergrenadier squad out. Kettenkrat needs to be very careful lest it fancies. There we go, cloaking up. So Kornek and the 12th SS are now relying on Luftwaffe support. Hurrah and hussar in the facing off against the might of the British, taking up Panzer's position right there. Kampfgruppe company going up already as well for Kornek. Bit of territory here secured, but otherwise he's clearly focusing up towards the east. Might want to get that Kettenkrat repaired. That's barely anything keeping it together except, well, pretty much prayers and some duct tape. Lieutenant, in other words, the Brits are moving westwards. Munitions, of course, are nicely secured. Kampfgruppe company almost secured, and there we go. High fuel point within the range of the 12th. Kettenkrat continues to be repaired. In fact, so far, I mean, it's pretty damn quiet. Not a lot happening. Although it looks like the Brits are heading eastwards, and looks like he's actually moving his headquarters command track another time. It looks like the munitions was merely a temporary stop until he could get the high fuel point. That's interesting. That's not what I'm used to seeing, so fancy that. So clearly, of course, he's... Yes, wait a minute, it's just a bit hard to sort of determine right here. But he is now securing the high fuel point, so I might be a bit wrong, but still interesting to see first the high munitions, then the high fuel. Fancy. Might have been other considerations, and the first Gewehr 43 package has been handed out right there for some Panzers, and there we go. First infantry half-track out, leichte Schützenpanzerwagen.
Commonwealth forces are capturing a friendly sector.
The Kettenkrat was a small light artillery tractor, amongst other things. It was initially intended to sort of support Fallschirmjägers and airborne troops. Otherwise, you know, in sort of with their assault, since they could sort of be easily transported, dropped in, and then of course could pull the artillery for the troops. It was later on used for other purposes as well, including taxiing aircraft to save precious aviation fuel, and I believe some of them were also just used for more regular transport purposes and the such. At least no one company, in fact, in a Panzer brigade, which was actually fully equipped with Kettenkrats. Infantry coming under fire. A nice little raid here by Kornek and his Panzergrenadiers equipped with Gewehr 43s. Can be quite nasty. I do believe they gain a suppression bonus against British infantry. Pulling away slightly though. A bit too many Brits, and already the infantry half-track is taking quite a bit of damage. Frowning away, and my apologies with this. Sometimes I do get carried away by the cinematography. There we go, though. 2nd infantry half-track joining up. These lighter ones were usually handed out to reconnaissance battalions of a Panzer division, although they were later replaced by the more regular mittlere Schützenpanzerwagen, since they realized that did the job about as well. Of course, would sort of focus the production more on just one type of half-track. These did serve for quite some time, had a few variations, a few guns, mortars, more anti-tank guns and the likes. I think there's only some anti-aircraft variants, but it was the other one which was larger, which sort of really had the sort of major variations on it. And there we go, Bren guns up. Infantry taking quite a beating. The Bren gun, a Czechoslovakian design used by the British. And there we go, infantry half-tracks pulling away, not quite standing up quite well. We might be seeing more units on the way. No, interestingly enough, just 2 Panzergrenadier squads and 2 half-tracks. You could of course get the expert repairs upgrade from the Comfortable company. That would certainly be a nice move. Instead we are seeing a retreat, perhaps having to focus on some troops up there who are a bit more known. No, he's in fact
Germany is conceding a sector point.
going for the Comfortable company upgrade. Interesting, and there we go, reconnaissance coming under fire. They're not quite enough to sort of face off against all of these Panzergrenadiers, and their half-tracks, of course, having them in the half-tracks, of course, ensures the Panzergrenadiers take a lot less damage, but of course you have to reinforce them a lot less, thus earning you quite some manpower savings in the long run if you use it properly. And that's sort of the clever thing about the infantry half-track. It can really save your manpower if you know how to use it. And manpower is quite important as the Panzer lead. And there we go, Comfortable company upgrade up, meaning of course Panzergrenadiers for the Panzergrenadiers. Which could mean that he is in fact intending to stay here for some time. And there we go, we are seeing the field support truck up. We might, oh dear, Kornek got spotted, but that of course might mean a Stuart light tank, which does receive some protection bonuses against Panzergrenadiers, but I suppose with enough that might be overcome. Concentration going in here, but getting stopped with the half-track taking up position in the house. Although the half-track can still do quite a bit of damage. That is 2 light machine guns with Panzergrenadiers in them, and both of them are equipped with Gewehr 43s. And there we go, 1 man down, the rest are below half health. And there we go, tank busters are moving up as well. Full retreat from the recce section. And quick repairs, but again, good luck, in fact he has gotten expert repairs. I mean, it is a great upgrade to have generally as the Panzer elite. In particular, if you're not going Luftwaffe, but even then I would recommend it, and of course it means your Panzers can much more swiftly get your infantry half-tracks or any other vehicle back in action. And there we go, the first Stuart light tank has arrived to support the British infantry advance. Casualty clearing station going up, that's great. And then, oh, Panzergrenadier misses the target. Mortar half-track out now, and we are seeing another tank buster squad on the way. And Luftwaffe troops from the 16th Luftwaffe Feld Division are arriving. British are charging in, Stuart moving up to support. Half-track's getting pushed back. We are seeing one getting buttoned down, which could be a problem, but there we go, incendiary rounds right there on all the Brits, and a mortar round, quite some heavy losses, forcing away the British infantry, leaving behind the Stuart a bit on its own, though it might of course try to move in against the Panzer equipped chap. And there you go, head on the rear armour, reconnaissance moving in towards the north, half-track could be going down, second tank buster moving in, no, Stuart is pulling out, half-track getting repaired reasonably well. Medics pulling in the wounded, and another Panzergrenadier main gun destroyed on the Stuart. Looks like though it will get out of there, away from the hands of the Panzergrenadiers. And there we go, now quickly all of them are focusing on repairing 1 half-track at a time. The 12th SS though are under quite a bit of pressure, but they are moving on, soldiering on, rushing in. While the Stuart light tank is also getting some repairs, having suffered quite a bashing at the hands of the Hun.
We must rally.
And we are seeing another infantry half-track on the way. Actually, that's quite interesting. Rare you see that many infantry half-tracks for any player, in particular against the Brits. Doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Bren gunners are moving in. Infantry half-tracks have to be careful. Mortar half-track though providing support. There we go, all getting suppressed. 1 button down though. More Panzergrenadiers moving up. More and more getting suppressed. Half-track though taking heavy damage. Veterans, you up for one. Offensive veterans on the half-track, increasing rate of fire and accuracy. Stuart moving in. I fear, yes, half-track down. Panzer down, died as well, although the full squad is still alive. Panzergrenadiers flying, blowing apart haystacks. More mortar rounds. Bren gun dropped, but secured again. Barely getting out of there. Zappers forced away as well. Absolute carnage. Another infantry half-track has pulled out. It looks like a medic was killed by a mortar round. 6 kills already for this vicious little thing.
We can use Luftwaffe ground forces to take the fight to the enemy.
Looks like we also are seeing the Luftwaffe on the field. But not giving up, not relenting. He is keeping up the pressure. Infantry half-tracks with Panzergrenadiers moving up. Really trying to get that Stuart light tank. British infantry trying, of course, to stop all these half-track. Lots of Bren guns and otherwise Lee Enfields. German infantry and half-track trying to hold the line, but they are simply getting pushed too hard. Panzer squad, in fact, might go down. No, looks like he will get out of there. Luftwaffe troops adding to the fire. Half-tracks in trouble. Mortar rounds. Looks like the one infantry half-track, the offensive veterans one will go down. There we go. Panzergrenadiers also in severe trouble. Bren guns flying. Bren gun bullets, more specifically, flying around the ears. Luftwaffe troops taking losses. More mortar rounds. 2 killed for the Luftwaffe. Half-track pulling away. British troops pulling away. A lot, in fact, pulling away. And now there's absolutely nothing to stop the Oh, there we go. Panzergrenadiers once more appears. Lots of veterancy, of defensive veterancy for the Luftwaffe troops. Repairing the infantry half-track with the Panzer squad in it. Brits are pulling back, but looks like they might get another squad reformed. That's definitely going to be a problem for Kornek and definitely a huge asset for Noggano. Which of course means he now has 4 infantry sections and 2 sapper sections. That's quite a force. Plus of course note sappers have the exact same weapon as the British infantry section, so in fact they can't do about as much damage. The only difference is they can't really get any anti-infantry weapons like the infantry section. But still, they can still do some damage, and 8 of them are still going to be a nuisance. Panzergrenadiers pushing up. Stuart moving in. Oh dear, Panzergrenadier could be in trouble. Down to 1 man. Rückzug, Männer. Luftwaffe keep repairing now, adding into the fight with the Kar-98Ks. More half-tracks moving up, rushing in, suppressing. Lots of machine gun fire, lots of action, lots of half-tracks. Lots of mortar rounds too. Although a bit too close. Sending crewmen flying out of the half-track. Be careful, Hans, where you aim that mortar. Really a lot of pressure, but Noggano is holding on for King George and T. Getting a armored command truck. Medics are getting ruthlessly executed in the name of the fatherland. And the Stuart just keeps on killing infantry enough. There's been absolutely no attempt at a canister round by Noggano, which can to a certain extent be understood since it does have a sort of hit and miss chance of pretty severe. Sometimes it does a lot, sometimes it does nothing. But the Luftwaffe troops were a sort of idea by Goering to sort of avoid having to hand over spare personnel to the army. They first came about in about 1941-42, even in fact, although back then they were not even really full divisional strength like an infantry division. They had only about 6,000 or 7,000 men, although they had Stooks attached to them, which was pretty uncommon for an infantry unit back then. They were mostly used for, you know, security and holding quiet areas. Or they rarely held up to that and usually got sacrificed brutally. The only sort of exception was the Luftwaffe Division Meindl, which was later made to the 21st, which was actually pretty strong and held on to the end of it all. But we are seeing an armored command truck coming out. Stuart taking quite a beating. Panzergrenadiers hammering into it. And there we go, Stuart down. Finally a small victory right there for Kornek and the 12th SS. We are seeing a Wirbelwind rolling up on the field with a Corp mount, of course, AA gun. Lots of Brits, but it has to be careful. There's no support, and you can only really suppress one at a time. Getting Button, and of course Piet hammering and raining down upon it. I fear this wirbelwind shall no more be wirbling. Lots of nasty damage. This is not looking good. We are seeing half-tanks holding up. Oh, and reconnaissance section down for the Brits. Not looking good at all at the moment. And this was a whirlwind which not really achieved much, although we do see an attempt at a mortar round. Burning away some of the Brits. Can the sappers get it? Main gun destroyed. Oh dear, and there we go. One final hit. Veterancy 1 for the lieutenant. In the meanwhile, Panzergrenadiers are wreaking havoc on the machine gun emplacements up here. Armor command truck is up for Noggano, and he's going for Staghounds, the cheeky sort. Although part of me suggests Cromwell's might work better against the half-tracks and such, plus of course could also just, you know, blow up more clumps of infantry. The rest of the force hanging about in the base, Luftwaffe and Panzergrenadiers moving out again. But again, most of the Luftwaffe divisions never really managed to become great, partly because they were not really equipped for it, had sketchy training. They usually got only a few months, despite it being actually paratrooper instructors they got.
Oi, listen up, gents.
But there you go. Most of them, in fact, also did serve on the Eastern Front. Medics pulling in the wounded, as usual. Staghound ready. But lots of fun facts, and of course, Kettenkrauts actually being used for reconnaissance to keep an eye on the British enemy. Well, of course, the proud lads here, of course, are marching out under the supervision of Lieutenant Jones. No captain, he might have been killed. Staghound rolling out, no 50 caliber for that. And another infantry section reformed. That's quite a bit of infantry right here for the 10th Infantry. One man down already, half-tanks pulling away, not quite fancying this sort of force. Fallschirmjägers could be used to assist. Another Wirbelwind out. Interestingly enough, I mean, the Panzer Elite player has pretty much only relied on one structure and that he can get from it. And then there was the Luftwaffe doctrine. Not really often you see that, I think, in any case. But certainly the comfortable company is pretty much the most flexible if you were to try that, although I'd not necessarily always recommend it, since Panzergrenadiers are pretty much rubbish against armored American cars. American armored cars. There we go, we are seeing a base raid. Panzergrenadiers hammering against the headquarters command truck. Brits are forced away there. Troops are moving in. Wirbelwind also adding to the fire. Infantry half-tank taking heavy damage. Staghound rolling in. And there we go. Half-tank out of control. Panzergrenadiers with heavy losses, 2 men down as the half-track crashes into some shrubbery. Second half-track with defensive veterancy 2 moving in, and we are seeing a huge push towards the center right here. Mortar half-track needs to get away. Wirbelwind in trouble. Panzergrenadiers in trouble. Where is the infantry half-track, which could provide a bit of assistance against at least the Staghound? Panzergrenadiers, Rückzug, Männer, Rückzug. Oh, both veterancy 2. Oh, this is absolute carnage for Kornek. Wirbelwind, though, manages out, mortar half-track out, but the infantry half-track is still caught behind enemy lines. And we are seeing a replacement casualty claim station up, which is not strange since it's already done quite so well in keeping Noggano's forces nicely buffed up with men. So it would be pretty bizarre not to continue to do so. So we are of course seeing more reinforcements, more men, a fresh casualty claim station up, which of course can also be used to heal the men.
We are losing a strategic sector.
And the Luftwaffe personnel once more find themselves repairing the flak panzer. Fraps acting up a bit again.
Outfits ready for action.
Not sure what's up with that. Bit of damage, a bit of blood, a bit of death, a bit of glory. And let us return to Kornek. Is Kencrowd running into a bit of problem? Oh dear, poor Kornek.
Defensive operations have been
Small push up here against one infantry section, caught on its own without supervision from a lieutenant. 2 double offensive veterancy Panzergrenadiers squads. That's definitely going to quickly tear through them. But we are seeing a much larger British force moving in. Staghounds not really supporting though.
Go ahead. Squad is ready for orders.
Could we be seeing another assault at the British headquarters? This time though less half-tracked.
infantry section
Could
ready.
be. And we are also seeing Fortune Jägers now being available. There we go. Attack, hang on. And trying again, there we go. Small assault right now on the British base. Lots of Panzer 6. A bit of light machine gun, Panzergrenadiers pelting up. Only one infantry section left with the thankless task of holding back the Hun, taking heavy losses down for King George and Churchill. The rest are storming back, but will it be time enough of Panzerschreck as after Panzerschreck hammers into the headquarters command truck and a pound a small tree. And there we go. More troops are moving in, but again, will it be enough? We are in fact seeing a Flak 88 going up. The dreaded AK. Infantry half-tech, they're in a bit of trouble, getting hammered. It was a bit too far ahead. Panzergrenadiers need to get out as well, and perhaps the fate, yes, the fate of it will now be shared by the Wirbelwind. Mortar rounds landing, and there we go. The Flak 88 is almost done. The Flugzeugabwehrkanone. Actually a reasonably old piece of work, but still quite excellent. Could function as an anti-tank gun and as artillery. In fact, Stuart is in trouble. I mean, Staghound, not Stuart. There we go. We've been down as suspected. Mortar rounds falling down. 17 kills.
Man standing by.
Oh my goodness! Usually the Flak 88 can't do that, but this time around it actually managed to kill 4 Brits with 1 hit. I mean, it's actually gotten pretty nerfed after the last patch, but apparently it can still pull off a good miracle or two against the British blobber. So that was actually pretty impressive. 1 shot for the Britons. That was probably not what Noggano had expected. And there we go, another Brit dead. And already veterancy 1 for the Flak 88. Well, the Flak 36, 88mm, but there you go. We're also seeing a flak fitting set up to sort of assist and protecting against infantry. And there we go, the headquarters command truck went down to the might of the Flugzeugabwehrkanone. Wreaking absolute havoc on Noggano's forces on the scale we probably had not imagined. And we are seeing, in fact, 3 Staghounds, but they haven't really done much, in fact. And again, I would have recommended a Cromwell instead, perhaps 2, rather than all these Staghounds, which so far haven't really done much. And now suddenly will get much harder stopped by a Flak. Germans are slowly pushing. Veterancy 3 for the half-track. That's definitely going to be nasty. And we are seeing the Staghounds pushing in. We are seeing Fraps acting up again. And no need to tell me to do all this and that. It won't help sometimes. Fraps just really acts weird for no apparent reason. There's nothing I can do about it. I've just had a period with practically no problems with Fraps. So again, it's just Fraps. We are seeing butterfly mounts being dropped in, but it might be a bit too late. The Brits might spot it, yes indeed. And back to the action along the last butterfly bombs exploding in the air. The Flak sending high explosive rounds shattering away against the British infantry as they charge once more against the German positions, held up behind the wreckage of half-tracks. And another Flak gets stopped, though. Luftwaffe troops adding into the fun. Double defensive veterancy, and of course here's one of the fun things about Panzer Elite veterancy. More specifically, the experience they gain, it is actually shared. they share their veterancy. I mean, Luftwaffe troops can actually just gain veterancy by hanging out the more combat-ready troops. Usually, though, I would recommend giving them offensive veterancy. They actually have a larger chance of actually killing something. That's usually how I play it, because, I mean, they are essentially about the same strength as Volksgunners, except they have a bit lower health. But then, of course, imagine if the Volksgunners were more accurate and could fire faster, then they might actually become a bit more effective. So, I mean, I usually just crack up some offensive veterans on them and then just begin beating some allies. That's usually how I progress. We are now, of course, seeing those stag hounds, and they are getting quite limited. They hadn't really hoped for this sort of... They aren't getting this sort of domination against the Hun as they had hoped for. And again, I believe the Cromwell would have been a much more magnificent choice. Sadly, that never came to be. And we are now seeing a second flag going up. A bit of sandbags going up. I would also recommend perhaps some barbed wire so it isn't so easily charged. Some poor tank busters, although double offensive veterans are running back home. Germans preparing a bit of defences, securing as much as they can. The British are getting out on the move again. Not willing to see defeat in their eyes. Or at least acknowledge there's a chance they might actually lose. They are stubborn, those British are. Those Tommies. More sandbags going out again. Barbed wire would be a nice move.
Go ahead, sir. Ready to move.
Panzergrenadiers on the move, and we are seeing some Henschel strafing rounds moving in against the armour headquarters truck right there. Always fun to sort of watch the Henschel come flying in with its gun. Do a bit of damage right there. Sappers are rhyming, trying to sort of protect the headquarters and at least ensure that it gets repaired. British are pushing in. No replacement casualty station. Looks like the Staghounds are on a minor raid. We are seeing a Panzer support command going up. Panzer support command upgrade on the way for Kornek. Flak feeling opening up on the Staghounds. Rounds casually bouncing off. Not really able to penetrate the armor. And on the actual war, I think they would have been able to. I might be wrong. Panzergrenadiers moving up to try and deal with them, although they should be careful. Although, interesting enough, there's been absolutely no 50 caliber machine gun upgrade, and usually that's what you see on the Staghounds, that they upgrade with the 50 caliber to sort of, you know, easily suppress infantry. But no such luck here. Instead, we do see a tank buster squad going down horrifically. Repairing the Panzer support command in the meanwhile, hoping of course for something to arrive. Looks like something got wrecked. And there we go, 50 calibers are now mounted, shooting away, although not really going to do anything to the buildings, to be honest. So it's a bit odd, he gets it now, although it's actually suppressing the Panzergrenadiers on the other side, and they might actually be making a charge now that they are suppressed, running back towards the base of the buildings. Flak feelings hammering, and we are in fact seeing support from the Flag 88 far away, double offensive veterancy. Panzergrenadiers hammering away, and the Flak, yes indeed, it gets a Staghound, getting one gunner a nice little ride.
We have 80 trigger fingers here, sir. Finally, I requisitioned these upgrades months ago.
And there we go. A bit of luck right there for Kornek. The Flak 88 was able to protect his base as well. And then we've got another charge, but the flanks are a bit exposed again. No barbed wire to perhaps help. And where are the Luftwaffe troops? Far, far away to assist. Panzergrenadiers are not in cover. They are taking heavy losses. Oh dear, Panzer squad went down. Kornek, what are you doing? And we are seeing commandos landing in, and not before. And the AA was not able to get the glider in the air, so the commandos are moving in against the Flag 88. Sten guns moving in. Butterfly bombs, in fact, stopping their advance though. And of course, the Flag 88 keeps extracting a high toll on any Brit trying to advance. More butterfly bombs go off, killing and maiming Brits left and right. And the commandos keep fighting desperately, taking excruciating losses. Grenade, and they... Ooh, we are seeing artillery perhaps getting called in. No, that was just decoy smoke. The Brits are pushing onwards towards that flag, which has been heavily damaged in the process. And there we go, reporting back to Major Tom. It is secured. Are you there, Major Tom? There we go. Flag 88. Number 2 lining up. And the first one is gone. Oh dear. Nice little save right there. That Flak 88 has definitely shown its worth. And we are seeing a Panzer IV infantry support tank arrive from some deserted armor depot, sending to assist this small force. And a veteran with 3 lieutenant. There we go. Armored skirts on the way. Lieutenant could be in trouble. No, he dodges it all. Flag 88 and Panzer IV fire. And now Kornek is in a bit of trouble. But let's go look at Noggano. Still holds a lot of the infantry, but he doesn't quite have any heavy armor, which again is not really to his advantage. And he does have enough munitions for one, and I repeat, 125-pounder artillery barrage. Panzer command up. No one's still secured this Panzer Schreck, but their forces are pretty worn out. 2 tank buster squads and 1 squad of Luftwaffe. Not really the most intimidating force. Well, of course, the Panzer IV will provide nice assistance. Looks like the Brits are scurrying towards the west. Noggano has a plan. Commandos raiding about, moving past the wreckage of the Wirbelwind. And we are seeing a bit of smoke. They could be hoping to sort of sneak up on the AA positions, but they are too early about it. They will get massacred if they try. Stackouts rolling in. Again, they won't really do much. At most, they can serve as a distraction for the Panzer IV while the infantry move in against the flag position on the west. Things slowing down a bit again. We are seeing decoy smoke, perhaps hoping to force away the Panzer IV. There we go. Panzergrenadiers are moving in. The tank busters, the Panzergrenadiers and Panzerjäger.
What's the fucking hurry, eh? Can we come on the contact?
Taking that position there. The Flag 88 is not quite aware of what's going on there. Small British assault to perhaps knock out this strong point in Kornek's plans. The one which protects his base, the one which has taken so many British lives. In the name of the fatherland, Panzer IV runs into a bit of problem. Luftwaffe troops and tank busters holding the commandos at bay. Jaeger command upgrade is complete. And again, some poor bastards getting hammered into giblets by the might of the Flak 88. And it has gained veterancy free. That's definitely not nice. And there we go, 1 huge charge from the Brits. Even the Flak has gained offensive veterancy, already killing 1. We are seeing commandos dropping in, but it does get knocked out. Oh, that's a huge manpower loss for Noggano. He dropped too close to the AA, but he did buy his troops valuable time to get close to the AA positions. But will it be enough? The Wirbelwind is already taking a huge toll, with its quad mounted 2-centimeter guns tearing through the bits, and the Flag 88 is just unable to hit all of a sudden. Artillery getting called in, the Panzer IV's in trouble. Wirbelwind cleared out, in fact, now. And the flak crew on the 88 might go down as well. There we go. Recruit infantry section down. The Brits are now taking heavy losses. Panzer X moving in. Flag 88 crew absolutely stunned. They are not firing. And in fact, they get wrecked, so that was actually a huge loss for Noggano. But definitely not a walk in the park for Kornek either. Pretty heavy losses. He's down to 1 of each unit. He's lost his heavy AA position right here. That was actually quite vital, so Noggano does hold the unit advantage, although that could still change. Although that definitely either wasn't really a good thing. I mean, losing a commando glider without it really seeing any action is usually considered a bad thing.
What can I do for you?
What shall the response be? Another casualty station. What shall Kornek do? Besides, move his very, very tiny and minute force out. We could see Panthers, though. He's got an old 3 buildings needed for it and the upgrades.
We're squared
Britons are moving in. Panzer IV quickly moving out of range. Doesn't fancy getting buttoned up and then hammered with Piat rounds. The Piat being the British attempt at a anti-tank weapon mounted on for infantry. Not quite as good though. And there we go. Panthers are arriving to assist the 12th SS. Not going to do that much against infantry, although they're not, of course, not completely useless. But of course they can stop the stack hounds a bit better.
We've raised the Union Jack, sir.
Union Jack raised, reports are going in. Panther moving forward and getting one sapper. Panzer IV moves up as well. British infantry taking some nasty losses. Trenches being dug, and we are seeing another Henschel strafing run against here. Excellent move by Kornek. Field support truck on the call-in. Probably to get some more sappers. Lieutenant in trouble. In fact, there's a lot of trouble. And are the 50 calibers actually trying to shoot down the Henschels? It rather looks like it. I believe some can in fact do that, although that's for the American tanks, but you rarely see it. Noggano space is in huge peril as German armor is moving in. And the lieutenant actually got knocked out by a lucky shot from the Henschel. Panthers moving in to deal with the armored cars. Infantry getting hammered. Luftwaffe troops even in position. And the GG goes up for Noggano. The 10th Infantry Division has lost in the face of the 12th SS. And of course, what are the lessons? I mean, we saw some good play from Noggano in the beginning. Good uses of the territories there. Casual clearing station definitely helped. Good pressure on the German commander. Although clearly, I mean, Kornek was rather good doing with the infantry half-tracks. And all that followed up, really. So in that sense, he wasn't too bad either. It sort of came about the mid-game where he lost too many half-tracks. And then he didn't quite replace him. He tried with the Wirbelwind, but the Wirbelwind just isn't really good against British hordes. I mean, he'd probably been better off actually going for Fallschirmjägers and upgrading those rather than going for the Wirbelwind. He lost lots of resources on Wirbelwinds when he probably again should have gone for Fallschirmjägers or just going straight for the Flaks. But the Flaks rather provided him with something to stop the Brits, at least grind them down and then sort of gain momentum again. But then the Brits came back for one last time. The problem with Noggano was he relied only on stackhounds, not a single Cromwell. Had he gotten a few Cromwells, I'm pretty sure he would have won this game. But there you go. Exciting game. Do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not subscribe and tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.